Just got a call from the VA from somebody. I've never heard her voice before, but she's trying to say she's the records person. That voice doesn't quite sound familiar, but then again, phones, some phones just don't have great speakers, so I could be wrong. But she's claiming to be from the records department, saying that sometimes she contradicted herself in her statement. She said every record is put up there into your master file, and if it's not there, you have to come and physically request it with a wet signature. Again, repeating the same thing that was said by the other lady, and saying, "Oh well, we upload everything here, but some specific stuff you have to ask for." And she says, and then some things never go into your VA.gov or MyHealthyVet. There seems to be confusion at this VA what MyHealthyVet is. All MyHealthyVet is, the only thing it is your EMR, your electronic medical record. It's not a website, it's nothing. It's basically a database, a comprehensive database of all medical care, and they're supposed to be uploading stuff that you get on referral as well, and all reports, everything. This is required by law. Everything goes in the EMR. Everything. Now they're trying to play the same games that some doctors do by withholding medical records. They can't do that. This is government medical care. They can't hold back records. And there's been multiple court cases over the years, especially in Michigan, over doctors that refuse to release medical care. And so what has happened between the AG and our honorable representatives and state senators, state reps and state senators, they passed a law. The doctor must give you the records, but they can charge you. So, they didn't really deal with the gray area of who owns the record, but doctors can't hold your records, but they can charge you a fee. And so what appears that people are doing, just for what I've seen, the people like this, they find any possible way to target people. And I kid you not, these scoundrels, it's like they sit up at night trying to find ways to target people, try to take away rights. It's like living in, the bottom ring of hell, and you're surrounded by various kinds of predator scoundrels who will find any way possible to take away your rights, your autonomy, your self-reliance, your resilience. And this is just another way they do it. But everything is supposed to go in that medical record. You're not supposed to have to request anything. When you print out a blue button report, and this lady actually tried to tell me that, oh yeah, some stuff, the reports aren't put in there, just the care notes. No, not true. You know who writes the care notes at least half of the time? MSAs. That's not true. What we're seeing is the call center agents, specifically at the VAs in this part of the state, because they all use one call center. Sometimes even if they're side by side with the providers, they're a subcontractor or a former employee of the same call centers. And I used to work with some of them, I know. And they just rehire them, or they rehire them with the Vet Connect call center, or they hire them as 1099 subcontractors. But still, it's all the same scoundrels. Like I said, I've used to work with some of these people. Some of them are horrible people. With the time that I worked at the call center I did, I would say probably about a handful, maybe 2 handfuls of good people out of maybe 200 or 300 people that I encountered. I would say probably 1 or 2 handfuls. Direct knowledge of probably about maybe a dozen people that I directly knew, who interacted with and kind of got to know that were good people. There was a lot of people there that just didn't care. And out of some of the people that I got to know there, about a handful of them that I knew, got to know, They were just horrible people. Those are the ones that I hated sitting next to. But so again, we see the call center overstepping. And some of these people that are working in these departments at this VA, they're not qualified for federal employment. So somebody's doing something. Some of them have such horrible attitudes. Some of them are very unethical in the workplace, and they should not have federal employment. So they're not. OPM is not that far removed from people. Somebody somewhere is lying. OPM does a very thorough vetting process. As I said before, when I was in active duty, I would interact with OPM agents quite regularly. And these are people who are very thorough. They look at every possible angle so they can give the federal government a good assessment, a good vetting of everybody who applies, especially people who are hired. And so this call to me tried to convince me that sometimes you can only get care notes in your blue button report. You don't get the actual raw data from a blood test or a radiologist report or a pathology report or a professional opinion of somebody that's called in as a specialist. You'll only get the care notes. No. Wrong answer.